Hi guys, it's me and I'm making a video today about one of my favorite topics ever, and I find that there's a lot of misconceptions, confusion, intimidation around this, and actually not even enough knowledge on how amazing and how powerful it is to change and upgrade your entire existence. And that is the topic of meditation. And meditation is a big umbrella word because there's different types, right? Just like physical exercise, there's different ways of practicing it, and there's different reasons for it as well. In this video specifically, I want to share with you guys the ways that it has influenced my life, how I use it to come back to peace over and over again so that I can create what I desire almost instantly. It is so cool, you guys. So first of all, there's different types of meditations, right? But today, I will talk about the most basic one, and that is how to use your breath, focusing on your breath to observe your thoughts and unidentifying with your thoughts. At the end, I will give you guys other options so that you can start practicing if that one's too challenging, because I think I didn't start off there either. I started with guided meditations. So the cool thing about starting a meditation practice, which means you do it in the morning, you do it at night, I see it kind of like bookends to your day to like secure your stability. Is like you can do 5 minutes of just observing your breath, and that forces you to go into your mind and kind of like have to listen to what's going on. A lot of times people tell me like, I can't do this is too challenging, this is not for me, I can't sit still. And trust that I too was somebody that couldn't sit still for the majority of my life. And this is actually a practice for that reason, because it allows you to take your power back and choose when to turn it on and off. So when we sit still and we have no distractions or no substances numbing us and are able to see our thoughts, we learn how to unidentify, unattach, and learn how not to judge these thoughts so that they can then be easily removed, or they can be upgraded into that which we desire. The coolest and most empowering part about this is that when we learn to observe our thoughts and not have an emotional reaction to it, we are becoming indestructible. That's the way I see it, because we are standing up for ourselves and learning that these thoughts are not who we are. We can change them at any point and then recreate and upgrade actually who we become, right? So we're not allowing these thoughts from the past dictate who we are in the present and who we will become. The cool thing about this is that in your everyday life, you can take it out into the world and not be offended, not have a reaction when people try to project or say things that you have now stood up against. So you already stood up for yourself, to yourself. So when other people tell you things, it no longer faces you, because you know the truth. You know that you already confronted it and you haven't been intimidated by that statement. So it no longer triggers you. And keep in mind that if something triggers you, it's because deep down, somewhere in your psyche, you still believe it. Because if you didn't believe it, then it wouldn't have an emotional reaction from you. So that's the first coolest thing ever, that you are allowed to not attach or identify, and therefore don't let people externally confine you or identify according to what they believe you to be. Something cool as a side note is that if you give people the freedom to perceive you as they choose to, without you caring or using that as a definition for yourself, you are in a very powerful place. But remember guys, this happens with practice. Doing or having a meditation session once in a while is going to help you calm down, give you a little bit of peace, but it's not going to have the changes and the transformational effects that we are desiring to create into our lives. Also, the more you meditate, the more you will be able to get back to your peace in everyday life. So that means that if there's an altercation, confusion, or anything that you don't like, you can go back to your peace really fast, and then be able to come up with optimized and innovative solutions so that you don't get caught in the drama or in the negative belief patterns of the past. You won't replay the past, because through your peace, you can bring in new outcomes and stop repeating those like pesky illusions that were created from before. Now, this is actually one of my favorites as well, because once you can see your thoughts, we can upgrade them. We know what we don't like, we know what doesn't feel good. So now is our chance to get these thoughts and change them to the complete opposite, something beautiful, something positive, something that will create joy and happiness in our lifetimes. You can choose not to believe certain thoughts. That is your power as the observer of your mind, and it allows you to drive your focus into that which you desire. So let's say in the past you felt unlovable or sad or inadequate for some reason. We can start changing those thoughts to I am loved, I am adequate, I am of value. And something I find that can help you believe it if you can't at first is say the word worthy. I am worthy of love, I am worthy of value, I am worthy of respect. And that is very helpful when you're first moving from a place of disempowerment to a place of like full confidence and love for yourself. Also, when you stop these negative self-talks and the annoying voices of the past, you will have a clean slate so that you can actually create what you want. You will no longer have all your focus on this BS that doesn't exist anymore. You will have a brand new, like imagine like an art project. You can start this art project and say, what is it that I really want that was not pushed onto me through my ancestors, my family, my societal pressure? Like, what do I really want? If I had no judgment whatsoever, if I had no judgment around relationships or money or jobs, what is it that makes me the happiest so that I can live the life of my dreams? Because believe me guys, that we are here to create everything we dream about that makes us happy and brings excitement into our lives, and we're here to materialize it. But if we spend a lot of time being in panic or like sadness and sorrow, then we don't have enough energy or like creative juice to bring it into existence. So we have to break away from those negative patterns that dwell in our minds. That's why sitting down, using your breath, and just observing these thoughts is going to be so helpful. Now, if it's truly unavailable to you, guided meditations will help at first, because they will walk you through a journey where you can surrender into a peaceful state. Usually they will bring you back into a beautiful park, into space sometimes, and just remind you that you are loved if you cannot do it at first by yourself. I believe that's how I started. And then there's also beautiful like mantra meditations where you chant and repeat a mantra over and over again, like I am love, I am loved, I am love, I am loving, things like that, to override the BS thoughts that are not real. Trust me, anything that comes from a negative place that is fear-based, that is telling you that you are unworthy, is a lie. It doesn't exist, it's not real, it's just an illusion. You are fully made of love, you are fully made of peace, you deserve to create anything you desire. So let's stop focusing and creating the unwanted thoughts. Let's take the wheel back and redirect it through repetition, through learning, observing our thoughts, through learning how to take our power back to create everything we dream of. Another good way that I've mentioned before is writing it down, slowing down your thoughts. If you write them down, you see where you're at, and then you can do the opposite. It's just like an equation. You get something that's like that you don't like and see, how can I optimize this? What is this blockage? Like, oh, I always have bosses that treat me this way. You can say, no, my future employers are going to be super kind, super helpful. They're going to see my value, because we're upgrading, and just your thought alone, guys, will change the situations that you get yourself into. Sometimes if you need physical movement, you can, for example, do yoga or even like strength training, as long as you're keeping a positive self-talk and it's not for negative reasons and you're putting too much pressure on yourself. So I hope this was helpful and motivated you guys to start a meditation practice, at least 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, where you can just sit by yourself without any distractions, where you can hold yourself and learn to identify with the thoughts in your mind. Then you can move on to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and even an hour. It is the coolest thing, and you will feel so good, not only for the obvious health reasons, but because you are changing your programming basically, and then you can use it in your day-to-day life. I appreciate you guys and I love you so much. If you have any questions, please let me know below. Bye!